Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
What's going on, everybody?
As you can see here in the title, we are here to talk the finale, the season finale, more than likely the series finale of the Courtship. Sorry, we got this one out a little bit later, but with the Memorial Day weekend and a bunch of other stuff at the end of last week, we didn't rush this one, but we figured since it was the last episode, we could let some time sit, watch the episode, and give you our genuine reaction. We're not going to bury the lead. We never really do in these type of reviews. So Miss Remy did get her ultimate suitor and the engagement she was looking for. Mr. Bacicchio. Overall, I'm fine with it. I think he was not a bad guy. I never really did anything bad. I did appreciate a few episodes back when he had kind of called her out saying you're spending all your time with someone that has no intentions to being with you. And so I do think he did open his mouth and stuff like that. And he did end up going through with the proposal. Bri, what did you think about the results? And do you think this is a relationship that's going to last?
I don't think it's going to last.
No.
This show was was a surprise to me on how many people actually watch these videos. I'm happy we watched it. I just don't think it's going to get a second season. I really don't.
No, I think it was a lot of bloat. I think there was a lot of extraness in this. I do like the idea of it. I'd almost like the idea. I didn't even mention this to you before, but like, what if you had a premise like this to an extent? What if it's a reality dating show, but it's like out of time? So maybe like every couple of weeks it changes themes. So you could do like 2 weeks in like in London like this, and then maybe you do something in the 70s, and then you do something
in the future.
And you can kind of make the theme something around that. But
or like each season, Bill, is a theme.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Make it, this was what, 12 episodes, Brian?
Yeah, too long.
12 episodes with a 2-hour finale. I think this would have been better suited for like the 7 to 9 range, probably. And I think it would have been a lot better. I think they fell into a trope that a lot of these dating shows fall into. You stop bringing people in after you've started.
I agree.
Just have everyone from the beginning, unless you're Bachelor in Paradise. It's the only show that I am okay with them, and Love Island, which is basically the same premise, but Love Island's also 50 days long, so it's a little
right.
bit
Yeah,
different.
the timeline's way shorter here. I don't know, and I just kind of think that if they did that, it would just, I think it could catch more eyes. I just felt like every week, like you meet a new guy and he's there for a week, and it's like, well, what's the point? Why is he here? Like he must think he has no chance.
Yep.
And the guys that he's competing against are like, oh, I've been here for 4 weeks. What is this guy gonna do that's gonna sway her? And my other thing, Bill, they should have had a reunion. 2 hours long. Give us a reunion. I think it would have been really nice.
When we release this is going to release on what is going to be Thursday, so it's going to be a week after the finale. There's supposed to be some sort of like Instagram live or Facebook live AMA she's going to do. So probably the day we release this in the morning, you're going to be able to go and look up the answers to see what her status is with the relationship. Apparently I'd seen something this week about them going on their first public date. So maybe means that they're not broken up, but are they still engaged? Those are questions that we need to get answered. This was a pretty standard finale. I actually thought, in a way, good and bad. They just got kind of, they had a round of dates with the 3 men. Mr. Cohn was out. We kind of got, I think that was pretty obvious that he was the third wheel. They didn't really have a romantic connection. But then they just do another set of regular dates and talk to the parents, and that's really it. It just didn't seem like there was any kind of ramp up. It seemed like everyone was at the same level as they were in the beginning, and it didn't feel, I don't know. It just didn't feel like there was only a few people left. As long, it sounds weird because the show was 12 episodes, but it didn't feel like we had gone on a journey and we're like, oh, we finally arrived with the final 3. Like we feel like when we watch The Bachelor or Survivor or Amazing Race. Like, do you kind of get what I'm saying?
No, I totally get what you're saying. And we've said this before, like when they have the dates, you just feel like they're not really connecting. And I just feel like going on a final date to just a bar, what is that gonna do that's gonna be like, oh, I want to marry this guy? Like, You know what I mean? Like at least like you said, Bachelor as an example, they're staying overnight. Like these people are building up to spending time completely alone while they have sex. Like if Van Boy didn't have sex, there would have been no like there was barely any like just kissing.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you can go from I want to marry this person with dates that just don't they aren't deep.
And that's kind of the thing I think I had to disconnect. I know in our private chats, I've been like, I haven't been anti Miss Remy, but I haven't been a huge Miss Remy person. And I think it does come down to, and it's not, she's not the only person, and there it is a show. I do understand this, but her whole thing of like, she expected the proposal that was
Right.
almost non negotiable. And I'm like,
Yeah.
can it just be that you're going to leave with a person and commit to that? It's a crazy premise of a weird show you're already on. It's not
Exactly.
even like you said, The Bachelor, where you're going on real live normal person dates. They may be a little goofy and corny sometimes, but they are dates that you would hypothetically go on in the real world. You're not
Right.
going to do any of these dates in the
Right.
real world. So they have a lot less connection of who they are, unless they get to spend a lot more time off camera getting to know them. That's honestly, I'd love to actually meet someone from this show and talk to someone from the show if they'd be willing, because I don't think it's going to really matter as much with them more than likely not doing a second season.
Right.
How much interaction they were allowed to have off camera, non-regency,
Yeah, that's I agree. It's just a show that we're totally not used to. So like it could be anything like oh it's very strict or it's very loose or like they do hang out in normal clothes but when the cameras are on they have to get dressed up like just we just don't know.
Did you ever have to do a retake because you were wearing your Jordans by
Right.
accident?
Right.
That's kind of stuff. We should look into that. We'll look into that. Honestly, guys, we'll try to reach out to maybe a few people. Um, I don't know, maybe like someone like Mr. Cone or something like that would be somebody who would talk. He did write the note. So
Yeah, that would be good to have a note writer. I liked Mr. Cones. I thought to me I could relate with him. Like he wasn't like one of these like tryhards.
no,
He was just being himself.
I thought Mr. Judge was fine too.
Yeah, I like yeah, he was my pick. Unfortunately lost, but I like Mr. Judge.
One day, Brian.
Yeah, I'm just like
One day you'll get a pick.
I'm over.
It's been a bad week for you with your picks.
I know. I mean, you just look back at all of them. It's like the Amazing Race going so well, just crashing by some stupid coins on the rocks. So just like these like one offs that just suck. And I'm just
Well,
like, yeah,
technically, we both
loser.
picked the lawyers for season one retro review, so they have a chance to win still. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's going to count. People are going to like even give us credit if we pick
Yeah,
somebody from the
I'm not
retro
gonna
review.
hold those. It's got to be
No,
live
no,
shows. I
no.
think that we can really like stamp like we got that right.
So overall, we enjoyed the coverage. Thank you again for the recommendation. We did have to kind of binge and jump on week 9, but we did do the final 4 weeks. So we do appreciate that again. This is the kind of thing that we do. If there's a reality show you think we should check out that's active or something in the past, even, we will check it out. Just comment or send us a message on our Instagram. All the socials and stuff are listed on our episode descriptions. As far as for the channel, plenty of things out this week. You'll have a new challenge, All Stars. We just actually dropped the release of the review from last week, week 4, and week 5 is going to air this week. So we will also have that drop pretty quickly at the end of this week. You'll also have a few retro reviews for, like we mentioned, the Amazing Race season 1 we're doing. We've also done a previous Bachelor season, Juan Pablo's season of the Bachelor franchise. So sometimes we will go back and do retro reviews of seasons, as well as just finishing up our coverage of The Circle, Survivor, like you see here, obviously, Temptation Island, our interview with Mark Wahlberg. And then we have kind of a little bit of a lull the next few weeks as far as new content. But in the beginning of July, there is the new US challenge that is coming out. Also, Big Brother does start. So we may do a little bit of coverage of that. And also The Bachelorette, which obviously is our favorite kind of franchise that premieres, I believe it's the second week in July, Brian. So about another month or so until we get to some
It's
new
coming
things.
quickly.
You can come in quickly. And I mean, like I said, we'll do a little research here. There's got to be something that's airing in June that we don't know about, or
Yeah.
we'll just figure out some retro things or line up some interviews, and we'll find some things to plug away. But once July hits, it doesn't stop all the way through the fall. I mean, we have a million things in the fall. You're going to have The Bachelor in Paradise, which is like our favorite show. You're going to have Survivor and The Amazing Race both in the fall as well. And I'm sure there's going to be some other combination of Netflix shows and such, like the Lachey verse things releasing as well at the end of the summer through the early fall. So make sure you're subscribed to get everything and anything reality TV. But for myself and Brian, thank you. Peace.
See ya.